What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us once again on the Vanz Cliff channel, and I'm your host, Ivan. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And on this channel, I usually talk about action figures such as Star Wars, Marvel, or anything that is interesting for me. I do toy hunting, toy vlogging, unboxing toy haul, and for today we're doing a toy review. And if this is something that you enjoy, start now by subscribing to this channel and hitting the bell so you won't miss anything. It has always been a passion for me to spark interest in toy collecting by giving tips and smarter ways to collect through online videos. So make sure to stick till the end of the video because I'll be discussing about accessories, aesthetics, and articulation coming up. Big Bad Toy Store has a massive selection of toys like action figures, statues, and a lot of geek stuff. So make sure to buy your toys at Big Bad Toy Store. I put a link in the description down below, so go check them out. Once again, thank you for joining us on another episode of Who's That Fig? And for today's episode, we're having a look at Boss Fight Studios' Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S Leonidas from the movie 300. This is actually the version 2. And it came with a lunchbox. So just a quick look, we do have the Vitruvian H.A.C.S logo in here, and we do have a bunch of mythological characters right here, such as Leonidas, a Spartan warrior. There's Medusa and the Gorgon, and I don't know who that girl is. So but we do have the Boss Fight Studios logo at the bottom right corner. On the side of the lunchbox, we do have Achilles and Medusa. And on the other side of the box, we do have a warrior and a skeletal warrior. And at the back of the lunchbox, we do have the Vitruvian H.A.C.S logo on top left corner. And we do have the Boss Fight Studio at the bottom right. And we have a bunch of mythological characters such as Medusa, a stone Spartan, and some Gorgons. I don't know who this is, but yeah, let's open this up and take a closer look. Alright, so here's how it looks inside the lunchbox. We actually have the character Leonidas and a bunch of accessories inside, although we do not have a card back for this figure. But yeah, so let's pull him out of the lunchbox and take a closer look. Alright, so out of the box, here's how it looks. And it came with a lot of accessories, but definitely less than what I got from Achilles. And what's disappointing about it is that I paid $20 more than what I paid for Achilles. But yeah, so let's go ahead and check the accessories it came with. And starting with the interchangeable hands, as you can see, it is nicely sculpted and it is in a swivel in a hinge joint. We do have two horizontal hinges for the interchangeable hands. Next would be the sword sheath, and this is exactly the same that came with Achilles. Same mold, and even the paint is the same. I think the only difference is the buckle, because in here it's painted in silver. The paint in the sheath itself, it's the exact same thing. That's really nice. Next would be, there's a variety of swords around here. We do have 4 swords, so let's check on it one by one. Alright, so here's sword number 1. There's a golden blade and a brown hilt, nicely painted. And I guess this is the I'm not really sure if this is a sword or I do really think it is a sword. At first I thought it was a dagger or something. This is a sword and it does have a golden blade and the same brown hilt. Sword number 3 is the longer version, so most likely this is the long sword. It's the same thing. It does have a golden blade and a brown hilt. It's the exact same thing. The difference is only the size. There you go. Same curves as well, as you can see. And the last sword, I think this is actually the sword that Leonidas used in the movie, which is a curved sword. Again, you can see a golden finish on the blade itself and a brown handle. Really good sculpt. Really nice. Next would be the helmet, and let me just, yeah, I think this is the same mold There you go. It's just the a different paint app. You do have a golden finish onto the helmet, and there's a mixture of red and black on top. Really nice. Okay, and of course the shield, and same with the Achilles, you can definitely see those sculpted detail onto the shield that looks realistic with the golden finish in it. This is definitely a same mold as a Achilles shield. Everything looks really nice. Nice paint application. If we can do some washing in here, it would really look more realistic. Alright, so and of course we do have a stand, the Boss Fight Studio stand. So those were the accessories that came. Oh yeah, before we forget, I almost forgot, is this removable? Because if it is, then this, yeah, it is removable, and this is also considered as an accessory. And what I like about this is that there's actually like a peg in here, if you can see, and a peg hole, so you just have to put it in there and it's gonna, you can see the peg in there, so you just have to put that inside this. There you go. And I like the fit of the armor much better. With this kind of design, the armor is gonna stay fit. Okay, so for the articulation, we do have a there you go, we do have a barbell joint onto the head, and that is the reason why we do have a very good motion on the head. You have a side to side, as you can see, and you can look down that much because of the beard. It doesn't fully, but it goes down, as you can see. There you go. You can look up. As for the shoulders, it does have a very good range. We do have the normal swivel and the hinge. We do have a full rotation. There you go. It's a pretty decent range. And we don't have like an extended shoulder piece, so it can swivel nicely, as you can see. And we do not have a bicep cut because you do have a swivel in the hinge joint for the elbows, and we do have a vertical hinge wrists for both. We can exchange it with the horizontal hinge wrist that came, which is actually cool, because for the horizontal hands, you can use this for the shield. You can use the vertical hinges hand to hold a sword or a spear or any weapons. Okay, so let's remove the armor so we can see the torso articulation. Alright, so we do have a ball joint for the torso section, so you'll have a good range of motion. Unfortunately, since you do have a body armor, we won't be able to move the torso section that much. So as for the legs, we do have a good range as well. You can see a T-split and can do a Spartan kick pretty nicely. As you can see, backwards, this is as far as it can get if you want to kick backwards, but if you want to like extend it, it's gonna give you an awkward look. So this is as far as it can get. We also have a double hinge knees, and I like that they cover the knee gap right there, which is a result of using a double hinge. So that's a pretty good range. And we have a swivel and a hinge. I thought I broke that. So I'll just be careful with it because it's kind of stiff. I can barely move it, but we do have a hinge and a swivel ankles. Alright, mine is just too stiff, so I'll just leave it that way. Okay, let me just put all the weapons and the armor real quick. Again, I'm having a hard time putting this in, putting the arms inside the shield, and I don't really think the problem is because of this. Alright, they made this a hard plastic where it should have been like a rubbery material, so that it's gonna be easy to put the hands or the arms inside. It's been minutes and I still can't get it in. Alright, so here's how it looks with the weapon and the shield. It looks really nice. My only problem, again, it's the same thing. It's the same problem that I encountered with Achilles. I had a hard time fitting this in, and the reason for that is because they use a hard plastic material on this one where it should have been a rubbery material, so that it's gonna be easy for us to like put the arms inside. And it took me a ridiculous time to fix this, like minutes. And I think that's the only problem. I do really think that a cape would have been better for this figure, just to be screen accurate, because in the movie the Spartans had like a cape and this does not include a cape at all. So what are my feelings on this figure? Mixed feelings, to be honest. I do really think that it looks absolutely amazing and highly articulated for sure, and definitely posable figures, but I paid $20 more for this figure and it came with less accessories. It doesn't have a card back, especially if you want this figure to be carded. Unfortunately, this special edition does not include that. On the brighter side, you do have a lunchbox. You now have a place to store all of these accessories. But yeah, this figure is absolutely amazing. I have Achilles in here. Look how gorgeous these figures are. Really nice. But again, they need to work on the shield. This has to be a rubbery material, but I think that's fine. It's just something that I experienced. The weapon, it holds very nicely. Overall, this is a nice figure, right? For 45 bucks. I'm not really sure. I think this is gonna be my last $45 Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S that I'm gonna spend on. I'm a little bit disappointed. A little bit. Alright, so I think that's it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you already did, hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated with future videos. And again, I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.